Hello, I'm Jonathan Cooper, and I'm the Head of Research Software Engineering at UCL's Advanced Research Computing Centre, and I've been in this role since July 2018. I never particularly set out to be a leader and to get here. Actually, that seems to be a fairly typical story. Really, I followed what was interesting and available to me at the time, and also that fitted in with family, not involving too much travel away from my wife and children. So I was at Oxford for 15 years before coming to UCL. I did my undergrad there in maths and computer science, and then a doctorate developing software for modelling and simulating the heart primarily, followed by a succession of short-term contracts, postdocs on about 6 different projects over the years, a mix of EU and UK research projects, and also with some teaching, particularly in the doctoral training centre there. I was co-director for one of the programmes within that centre. And in some ways, it looked very much like I was doing everything wrong for an academic career, staying in the same place, in the same research group. But actually, it's turned out a lot of it was really useful for the role that I'm in now. Then in 2016, I came to the end of the latest contract at Oxford. I'd spent 2 years trying to set up a research software engineering group there and failing. Everyone thought it was a great idea, but no one was prepared to put up the money to back it. And a permanent role came up at UCL, working in the research software development group here. So I took that in November 2016, and then over the subsequent years, I was promoted twice, and became head of the group in July 2018. So I think some of the barriers and challenges in that process, figuring out what I wanted to do and how that fit within academia was certainly a big one. I really enjoyed the software development side of things and wanted to focus on that more than pushing forwards a particular research field. What I did was very useful for supporting mainly physiology type research, but it didn't really fit within a physiology department, and it didn't fit within a computer science department because it was too applied and not pushing the boundaries of computer science. So trying to sort of stay within academia but cope with the traditional research boundaries didn't really work. And this was in the earlier days of the RSE movement, so it was very much trying to define a new career path. There weren't many roles available. There wasn't much funding to do that kind of thing. Life is easier now. More recent challenges with being promoted, one of the biggest issues has been dropping roles that I did have in order to focus on the new role. So I had a research grant that I was actually the PI of, and that really languished when I became head of group and didn't have the time to devote to it anymore. And bits of software that I've been maintaining, I'm now trying to hand over to other people because I don't have a lot of time in my diary for coding anymore. And also a big challenge was accepting that actually I was good at the non-technical stuff too. And so making peace with the fact that I'm not just a coder anymore, and actually finding a lot of job satisfaction in the other aspects of my role, leading a group and helping other people to thrive. I think probably the biggest skill as head of a group, and particularly a large group, is context switching. I'm moving between meetings all the time, moving between topics, having to quickly remember what's happening in a meeting, what the context is, making decisions, picking up key points. That's very different from a coding role where you're focused in the zone for hours at a time.